Second down, going deep. Daniel Jones. Did he catch it?
Here at TPS, we previously shared our rankings for every team's starting QB, number one wideout, and lead RB from worst to first. Well, for this list, we're trying something new and pouring two of the ingredients into one recipe. So with that, let's dive into our rankings for all 32 NFL teams starting QB WR1 combos from worst to first.
When I got back, I kind of slipped and I just threw off my timing, so I didn't want to force, especially with the weather condition.
Number 32, CJ Stroud and Nico Collins, Houston Texans. This isn't a knock against either, it's just the least experience of the 32 QB WR1 combos. Stroud is a rookie, duh, and Collins played 24 total games over his first two seasons. So hey, keep expectations reasonable. Let's see how these two fare in their first dance together. Number 31, Bryce Young and Adam Thielen, Carolina Panthers. Young is a rookie. Thielen is a seasoned veteran, but he hasn't been a Pro Bowler since 2018. This is his first year in Carolina too, so it's difficult to project how the young Thielen tandem will fare. Number 30, Anthony Richardson and Michael Pittman Jr., Indianapolis Colts. A dual threat QB like Richardson is tough to project, especially given the limited talent around him. Jonathan Taylor is out for at least 4 games, so Richardson will be leaning aplenty on Pittman Jr. Number 29, Mac Jones and Juju Smith-Schuster, New England Patriots. Smith-Schuster played second fiddle to tight end Travis Kelce in Kansas City, and it paid off with a Super Bowl ring and a $33 million deal from the Pats. Truth be told though, Smith-Schuster is simply better suited for a WR2 role. As for Jones, he can only improve after a miserable sophomore year, though we'll give the blame to head coach Bill Belichick for making Matt Patricia and Joe Judge his offensive play callers. Number 28, Desmond Ridder and Drake London, Atlanta Falcons. London was one of the best rookies last year, hauling in 72 catches for 866 yards and 4 touchdowns. But how big will his role be? Ridder also has to give the ball to Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, Cordarrelle Patterson, and Kyle Pitts. Also, Ridder made just 4 starts last season. So yeah, this duo is awfully tough to project. Number 27, Jordan Love and Christian Watson, Green Bay Packers. After playing behind Aaron Rodgers for 3 years, it's now Jordan Love's turn to run the show. Watson had 9 total touchdowns in 14 games last season. Don't be surprised if he breaks out this year though, even if A-Rod is no longer the one feeding them the ball. Matt LaFleur is one of the game's brightest offensive-minded coaches. Do not underestimate his power. Number 26, Kyler Murray and Marquise Brown, Arizona Cardinals. We're not sure how much playing time Murray will actually see this year, but let us not forget there were some moments between him and his ex-college teammate last year, including a 140-yard game for Brown against the Rams. If Murray plays at some point this year, he and Brown will give the Cardinals fans something enjoyable to watch. Their chemistry is solid, we just need to see more of them on the field together, and then maybe we'll move them up in the future rankings. Number 25, Lamar Jackson and Rashad Bateman, Baltimore Ravens. A healthy Jackson is a top 10 QB in the game. But there are some questions surrounding this duo. 1, will Lamar stay healthy after missing 11 total games, including playoffs, over the last 2 years? And will Bateman be on the field having played just 18 total games over his first 2 years? If yes, how big will his role actually be in a rush-heavy offense that also added Odell Beckham Jr., Zay Flowers, and Nelson Aguilar as weapons? Number 24, Sam Howell and Terry McLaurin, Washington Commanders. We know Howell made just that 1 start as a rookie last year, but Scary Terry has been putting up elite numbers with mediocre quarterbacks for a while now. Even if Howell isn't the guy in DC, you just know McLaurin is going to be dangerous, with 3 straight seasons of 70-plus catches and over 1,000 receiving yards on his resume. Number 23, Daniel Jones and Darius Slayton, New York Giants. Jones is a bit of an enigma here. 3 bad years followed by a solid enough campaign that got the Giants into the postseason. Now let's see who the real Daniel Jones is. Regardless, you can expect Slayton to produce good numbers in the Meadowlands. He's exceeded 700 yards receiving in 3 of his 4 NFL seasons. So the Giants could certainly do worse as far as QB receiver tandems go. Number 22, Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mayfield is unquestionably in the bottom tier of NFL starting QBs, but Evans is a borderline top 10 receiver with 9 straight 1,000-yard seasons under his belt. Evans was putting up these numbers with guys like Josh McCown, Jameis Winston, and Ryan Fitzpatrick throwing him the ball before Tom Brady came along. So don't expect much statistical regression from Evans, no matter how mediocre or terrible Baker is behind center. Number 21, Ryan Tannehill and DeAndre Hopkins, Tennessee Titans. Tannehill has probably hit his peak here in Music City, but having an established WR1 like D-Hop should help prevent him from sinking to, well, levels of a non-starting quarterback. A healthy Hopkins can still be a top 10 wideout in the game, but his production largely comes down to how Tannehill performs after last year's injury-riddled season. Number 20, Russell Wilson and Jerry Jeudy, Denver Broncos. Though Wilson had his worst season as a pro, Jeudy ironically turned in his best, notching 67 catches for 972 yards and 6 touchdowns. As we've said all offseason, Wilson is only going to get better under future Hall of Famer Sean Payton. There is no questioning that. The only question is, does he return to vintage Russ form, or is he only a little better? At any rate, Jeudy is used to playing without elite quarterbacks, so expect another strong outing from the Alabama product this year. Number 19, Justin Fields and DJ Moore, Chicago Bears. Fields' passing numbers certainly aren't on par with his incredible rushing statistics, but you get the feeling that it'll change this year. Fields finally has a proven WR1 in DJ Moore, who came over in the trade that sent the first overall pick to Carolina. Moore also has yet to catch passes from a legitimate starting QB, yet he has got 3 1K campaigns under his belt. We are sure he'll make it 4 with a dual-threat QB now tossing him the football. Number 18, Kenny Pickett and Deontay Johnson, Pittsburgh Steelers. We won't be shocked if sophomore and certified highlight reel artist George Pickens takes over as the Steelers' new WR1. But for now, it's still the Deontay Johnson show in Steel City. Pickett had a sluggish rookie year, but made some big-time plays with Johnson. Another year of experience should help take Pickett and the Steelers' offense to a new level. Do not be surprised if Johnson turns in a career year either. Number 17, Deshaun Watson and Amari Cooper, Cleveland Browns. Cooper actually had a career-high 9 TDs and 1,160 receiving yards, the second best mark of his career in 2022, despite mostly catching passes from journeyman backup Jacoby Brissett. As we all know, Watson was downright awful after returning from his 11-game suspension. But with the rust out of the way and with more experience in the Browns' offense, Watson should regain his Pro Bowl-like form, and Cooper might push for top 10 receiver status again. Number 16, Jimmy Garoppolo and Davante Adams, Las Vegas Raiders. Garoppolo certainly isn't a top 20 quarterback, but Adams is a top 5 wide receiver, so somewhere in the middle feels right here. Adams could put up all-world numbers again with Jimmy G, but the latter has only been healthy for 1 full season. You can't just trust him to play a full season. And if he gets hurt, do you really trust Brian Hoyer or Aiden O'Connell to get the ball to Adams? Come on. Number 15, Derek Carr and Chris Olave, New Orleans Saints. A top 10 O-line and defense and a spot in football's worst division? Yeah, sign us up for the Carr hype train. He is going off this year. And he's got a wonderful new WR1 option in Chris Olave. The latter missed 2 games last season and was stuck with Andy Dalton as his main QB, yet the Ohio State product caught 72 passes for 1,072 yards and 4 touchdowns. If Carr comes as advertised, do not be shocked if he and Olave end up being a top 10 QB receiver duo in 2023. We are fully sold on this duo. Number 14, Geno Smith and DK Metcalf, Seattle Seahawks. No Russell Wilson? No problem. Metcalf recorded a career-high 90 receptions last season with comeback player of the year Geno Smith throwing him the ball. The explosive Metcalf remains a premier deep threat and TD machine, but you do wonder how much his production could slip now that the Seahawks have not 1, but 3 dangerous receivers with Jackson Smith and Jigba joining Metcalf and Lockett. Number 13, Brock Purdy and Deebo Samuel, San Francisco 49ers. Purdy and the so-called wingback only shared the field for 2 regular season contests last year. Then the Purdy-Samuel tandem exploded in the wildcard round versus Seattle, with Samuel hauling in 6 receptions for 133 yards and a touchdown. The sky is the limit for Purdy, who went 7-0 in games he started and finished. Of course, the ball has to go to Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk, and George Kittle as well. Number 12, Patrick Mahomes and Kadarius Toney, Kansas City Chiefs. KC is only a top 12 entry here because Patrick Mahomes is the best player in the game right now. If this list was strictly for a QB and his number 1 pass catcher, Mahomes and Travis Kelce would take the top spot. But alas, we have to go with a receiver here. Now is Tony's time to shine with Juju Smith-Schuster and McCole Hardman both gone. He's certainly in a good spot with Mahomes and Andy Reid there though. Number 11, Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown, Detroit Lions. To some, Goff isn't a top 20 starter in this league. Fair enough, but his production with Amon-Ra St. Brown simply doesn't lie. After a stellar rookie year on a miserable Lions team, St. Brown took it a step further in 2022 by racking up 106 catches for 1,161 yards and 6 touchdowns. With Jamison Williams serving a 6-game suspension to start the season, there is no doubt who the number 1 receiver is in Detroit. Number 10, Justin Herbert and Mike Williams, Los Angeles Chargers. Herbert himself is a top 5 QB in the game, but how will Williams produce with promising rookie and first-round pick Quentin Johnston now joining the offense? Throw in Keenan Allen and do-it-all running back Austin Eckler, and you gotta wonder just how big Williams' bite at the apple will be. But from what we've seen with these two thus far, their placement in the top 10 is more than justified. Number 9, Trevor Lawrence and Calvin Ridley, Jacksonville Jaguars. It's not fair. Lawrence had a breakout year and led the Jaguars to a division title and an epic playoff win over the Chargers last year. And to think, his new WR1, Calvin Ridley, didn't even play a snap last year. The sky is the limit for this offense that also features Travis Etienne Jr., Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, and Zay Jones. Number 8, Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp, Los Angeles Rams. This was unquestionably football's top QB WR duo in 2021. Kupp won the Triple Crown of receiving, Offensive Player of the Year honors, and of course, Super Bowl MVP after helping the Rams to their first championship in 22 years. Even though Stafford and Kupp both missed considerable time last year, the latter still racked up 75 catches for 812 yards and 6 touchdowns. Only Justin Jefferson and Tyreek Hill averaged more receiving yards per game in 2022 than Kupp. Number 7, Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, Dallas Cowboys. It still feels like we haven't seen these two peak together because Prescott has missed 17 games to injury over the last 3 years. Even without Dak for 5 games last season, Lamb had a career year with 107 catches for 1,359 yards and 9 touchdowns. If number 4 plays all 17 games, Lamb should easily set new career highs. Number 6, Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson, New York Jets. If Aaron Rodgers didn't go down with a season-ending injury on Monday Night Football, this is where he would be ranked. Rodgers is a 4-time league MVP and future Hall of Famer, while Wilson is the reigning Offensive Rookie of the Year winner. Wilson had 83 catches for 1,103 yards and 4 touchdowns with Mike White, Zach Wilson, and Joe Flacco throwing him the football. His potential is limitless with Rodgers now here. Number 5, Tua Tagovailoa and Tyreek Hill, Miami Dolphins. Miami's offense was unstoppable when Tua was on the field. He led the NFL in passer rating and yards per completion last season. It's just a damn shame that 3 head-related injuries cut into his MVP caliber season and prompted him to miss the postseason. If Tagovailoa can stay healthy, there is no telling how crazy good this tandem could get. Last year, Hill set career highs in receptions with 119 and receiving yards with 1,710. Number 4, Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson, Minnesota Vikings. Statistically speaking, Cousins is a borderline top 10 QB, but this tandem climbs into the top 4 simply because Jefferson is the best receiver in the game. JJ's 128 catches and 1,809 receiving yards both led the NFL last season. Is 2,000 yards next in store for the reigning Offensive Player of the Year? I don't see why not. Number 3, Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, Philadelphia Eagles. A top 5 QB and a top 10 receiver in the game. This tandem is downright glorious. Brown went off last year with 88 catches for 1,496 yards and 11 touchdowns, despite having to share targets with fellow superstar Devontae Smith. That was only 1 year of the Hurts-Brown connection. Do not be surprised if they're even more prolific this year. Number 2, Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, Buffalo Bills. From 2020 to 2022, Diggs and Davante Adams co-led the NFL in receptions with 338 apiece. Only JJ, Davante Adams, and Tyreek Hill had more yards than Allen during that span. Josh Allen went from unfinished product to elite superstar MVP caliber following Diggs' arrival in Buffalo 3 years ago. Diggs has exceeded 100 receptions and 1,200 receiving yards every year with Allen. What more is there to say other than they just need to win a Super Bowl now? Number 1, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, Cincinnati Bengals. Burrow was second in our 2023 QB rankings. Chase was our number 3 ranked receiver. So, yeah, do the math and consider their playoff success together, and we have very little doubt who the best QB-WR duo in football is right now. Chase missed 5 games last year, but still caught 87 passes for 1,046 yards and 9 touchdowns, helping Cincy to a second straight AFC title game appearance. To think it just took home runs on 2 first-round picks in Burrow and Chase for the Bengals to go from longtime loser to NFL heavyweight. Can't wait for year 3 of the league's ultimate super pass-catching duo. But who do you think is the NFL's #1 QB-WR duo heading into 2023? Join us in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton, and hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.